show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. I see a lot of people already on. This is awesome. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully y'all are doing well. We have a very, very, very special guest tonight because they're doubled. We have two guests and we have a special co-host tonight. So let's first start off by welcoming the fill-in. Yeah, that's right. I called you a fill-in. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the usual Friday night Paracast co-host. You know him, you love him. What up, Lurker? What's up, brother? Okay, you're going away. So for those of you who usually have been paying attention, this is not Squeakers. Definitely not Squeakers. This is not Sarah. Sarah is a little under the weather tonight. And before we bring our guest on, Lurker and I want to just say if everybody could please send some prayers and healing thoughts over to Squeakers. I'm not going to go into detail. It's none of my business to put her personal information out there. But definitely, guys, please send some prayers her way. She definitely needs it, and if you can, just shoot her a message. Shoot her a message, letting her know that you're thinking of her. It's been an interesting 24 hours, but we'll get into that here in just 1 second. But our guests are patiently waiting in the back, and yeah, I stole that from your show, guys. Sorry, but yeah, I see you. But if you guys haven't taken notice, we have Through the Lens Bryan and Lex on tonight, and I don't know about you, Lurker, but I've been looking forward to this show for a long time.
Me too.
Calm down. So guys, without any further ado, please help me welcome, first of all, you know what, we're gonna do this a little differently. So ladies and gentlemen, let's start off by introducing somebody who you may not have seen too much. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello and welcome into our Paracast family, Lex. What's up, Lex?
How's it going, guys? It's finally here. I've been waiting for
Right?
it.
Same. And you're going to regret every minute of it. No.
Oh, definitely. I already regret it now. I was sat in that back room like, oh, this isn't my job. I don't sit in the back room.
You're not safe.
Not with you around. Anyway, so guys, we can't have Lex without, of course, the owner and founder of Parapost. You know him, you love him, Bryan.
Yes, Mark. He keeps on stealing our stuff.
And goodbye. Yeah.
Hey, goodbye.
I could not resist.
Oh, man.
For those
Love
of you
it.
who have no idea why we're laughing so hard, it's because we were just talking about this before the show started. So this is going to continue for the next hour.
Copyrighted
or so.
stuff. Yeah, copyrighted stuff.
So if you came here expecting to
thanks for
learn
having me.
anything, if
What's
you
that?
expected to learn anything, guys, and anybody watching, yeah, forget it. You guys haven't seen my show. Well, welcome back. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it really is an honor. In all seriousness, guys, I know I've personally been looking forward to you both for ever since I saw the show Through the Lens. I love what you guys do. You guys are great hosts. You have great guests, great show. But we're going to dig into that in just a little bit. We talked a little bit about the Squeakers needing some attention to this evening and some prayers. But guys, I want to take a second here, and I'm going to pause my music here. We are a family. You guys have all heard me preach this and say this so many times. We, as a community, we celebrate together, we congratulate, we support, we love each other, but we also mourn each other. Bryan, since you knew this individual better than myself, I think it'd only be right if you would do the honors.
Yeah, I found out today that I think he passed away yesterday. In fact, I found out today Murad from Haunted Journeys passed away from complications of COVID. I just basically wanted to give him a shout out. I've been on a number of his lives or watching, and he was just a great guy. He was kind of doing what me and Lex are doing. But he was doing it live, and people were coming into the room, and then everybody would be able to post their links to their channels, and then you could go over and follow those channels. And what his lives were about that. And he was just an all-around great guy. I had the opportunity to talk to him a couple times, watching a number of his lives. He was a member of Parapost as well. And so I put a post out today on Parapost, and it's just really, really sad. And he was way too young to be passing away. And he was just an all-around great guy. So I wanted to give him a shout out. And we're going to miss you, buddy. We're going to miss you.
Yeah. And if everybody could please do me a favor. Well, Bryan, please send me the link to his YouTube. I will put that in the description after the show, and both on Facebook, and I'll put it on YouTube as well. If everybody watching this could please just go over, and even though he, obviously isn't going to be doing these, let's show him our support and show his family the support that he meant a lot to our community. So thank you guys. So I know it's not the way we usually start the show. We like, a lot of fun and joking and stuff like that, but it's true. It really is true. We are a family here. If you've seen my show, you know that. That's what it's about. That is 100% what it's about. So thank you guys so much. And I want to start off again. Well, continue by saying welcome to everybody. I see a lot of new names in the chat tonight. So I want to welcome you guys and apologize ahead of time for what you're about to see. But especially right over in this direction.
Oh, only if we could tape what was happening in the back before we went live.
No, that's why you record it on your phone like I did.
if only.
Smart move.
Exhibit A. Oh no, we were having a great time, and we probably could have. And I think Bryan, you and I have had several conversations that were just like, this should be on a video.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but it's really nice to finally. It's really nice to finally. It's going this way for me and Lex, and it's nice. It's a nice change. It really is.
It's an awkward feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
But guys, I do see you all in the chat, and I want to give another special shout out. Sorry, Lex. Mr. Fedora stopping in. There you are. Okay, so before this goes any further, I'm definitely saying there's a part 2 coming.
That's if we finish part 1.
If you could make it through the night.
So, Lex, what time do you go to work? Wait, Lurker, you go to work too.
In 8 hours. I got time.
Not till later.
We can make this happen.
So what I'm gonna say right now is, you can point all these questions towards Lex because I've done way too many of these shows. So I'm just gonna sit here and look pretty.
It's fine. Just do another thing you struggle with, Bryan. It's fine. I'm the pretty one.
Can we start a poll in chat?
Oh wow!
I'm being fair. I'm being fair.
Yeah.
Give the audience what they want, right?
I mean, my ego could do with being pushed down a bit.
Hey, you knew what you guys were signing up for. You knew what was going to happen.
Right, especially you. You've seen the show.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
I mean, hell, you support this. Just remember that. It's right there
Yeah.
for a reason. Uh, well, apparently my producers are chiming in. So I want to start off first by saying, guys, first, thanks, obviously, for taking your time out. I know you're both very busy. I know you guys got a lot going on. So thank you, first of all. But the first question I have, I've been wanting to ask. Bryan, you're in Canada. Lex, you're in the UK. How did you guys meet up? How did that happen? Oh, okay. That
What did you say, Lex? I missed that. What did you say?
I said Tinder. That's where me and Bryan met.
let's see. 15 minutes in the video, and you broke my co-host. Congrats. New record.
That's a new world record.
I'm a funny guy.
Oh God.
Sorry, Bryan.
Oh,
had to be done. Well, Bryan, do you want me to say it, or do you want?
No,
you
go
want
ahead,
to?
Lex. Go
'Cause I
ahead.
think-
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay.
please, because I almost peed my pants there.
So that's why I'm wearing
TMI there, buddy.
why I'm wearing a diaper.
And that's why you never miss anything that goes on in a party, right?
Yeah. Where
You wear it
Pampers.
depends. Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so it is a weird thing that me and Bryan have done this for almost 50 episodes now. We've known each other for, I think, just over a year and a few months now, I think it is. And
Yeah.
we met by chance on Twitter. And it was when I first uploaded a YouTube, but the day that I was going to upload a YouTube video was the first time that I really spoke to, or in that week is the first time I met Bryan. I was following hundreds of paranormal YouTube channels on Twitter. I was very new to it, so I was like, I don't know who I'm supposed to follow. I don't know how to approach people and all this stuff. So I put up a tweet just saying, like, doing my first ever video. It's coming out on Friday. And Bryan messaged me, and he was asking me if I was nervous. And when I confided in him a little bit. I watched his channel in that week, and I was like, this dude knows what he's doing. If I can get some advice from him, that'd be grand. And he was happy to give it to me, and he kind of pep talked me and helped me get through that first nerve-wracking video, and gave me some feedback on it, and has always been. And then it's just continued from there, really. Before we get to the Parachills chapter of how the show came about, but for the first few months of me being a paranormal YouTuber, Bryan's the one that really helped me get confident enough to, and maybe more confident in the work that I was actually doing, because I didn't want to go down the wrong path of YouTube. I didn't want people to think I was faking it. I didn't want it to be overproduced, and I wanted it to be real. So I actually took a lot of inspiration from Bryan's videos in how I do mine, and that's how I met Bryan. Told you it's romantic.
It was almost like Tinder.
It almost was. I hit follow on the right person. It was great.
You know, if I can just say something about that. When I saw his tweet, because you could see in his tweet that he was a little bit nervous. And you can, I don't know. I just felt like he was unsure about himself, and he didn't have to be, because when I saw his first video, I go, okay, this guy's going places. So I just let him know. I just gave him the confidence that, you know what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people say or think about your video. It's, what do you think about it?
100%.
You know, if you like it, just put it up. Don't be nervous, because he was nervous to put it up. And I just told him, don't worry about what anybody else is going to say. You're always going to have those haters that are going to come in and say something nasty about your video. Just put it up. Don't worry about it, and move on to the next one. And I knew right off the bat when I first started talking to him in DM on Twitter, he was a great guy. Right off the bat, I knew he was a great guy. He said a couple of funny things, and I knew we were going to get along. And a year and a bit's passed, and he's He's everything you see on Through the Lens. He's funny. He's great. He's obviously good looking. Look at the guy.
Great hair.
For God's sakes. And God,
It's making me blush.
but honestly, all kidding aside, it was just I knew right off the bat that we were going to be friends, and I could tell right away, just by us messaging back and forth. And I knew how tough it was when I first launched my video because I was nervous. And just like everybody else, but I was more than happy to help, and he's done well ever since.
I definitely have to agree. And you guys are amazing. You know, Through the Lens is a great show. If you guys haven't seen it, you're missing out. Definitely go check that out. Actually, I got a little. Now I'll put it up in a minute. But Lex, you said you have your YouTube channel. For those playing the home game, what's the name of the channel and what social media sites? Obviously, Twitter.
That's the name right there. As you can tell, I'm very imaginative with my name. I was like, what's your name? Alex. Okay, kick the A off. No one likes Alex. We'll call you Lex. Because it's really weird because no one in Britain uses the name Lex. So I liked it. So I was like, okay, we'll get rid of the Alex and we'll put Lex. We'll shorten it. And then I was like, what's your content going to be? And I was like, well, I'm paranormal investigator. Screw it. Bang paranormal on the end of it. And that was the name. So I was like, and it stuck. So
Fair enough.
that was my name. So, but that's the name of the channel. I have a Facebook page, but it's not very active at the moment because I'm not good at Facebook. So, but if you want to like it, I put snippet clips up on there, and I put the trailers for the series out on that one. And any cool evidence that I really want to push out, I put on Facebook. I do have a TikTok account under the same name. Again, is more for tidbits and trailers. I do some weird random videos on there at the moment because I'm not a big fan of TikTok really. I have a Lex Paranormal Instagram page. Which is thumbnails and just cool stuff that I'm doing at the time. And of the biggest one, other than YouTube, I've got is my Twitter account, which is Lex Paranormal YT.
And don't forget your Tinder account too.
That's a secret name. I go under a really weird name. I go under Hunterphobia on Tinder.
No Bumble?
No, we got
You know
banned
what?
off of that one.
I will say one thing about there's a video on Lex's channel, and we always talk about paranormal investigations and going out on an investigation and not capturing anything. And Lex is the type of person that it doesn't matter if he doesn't capture anything, he'll still put the video out. There's a video on there of the Red Book series, the third part of that series. Nothing was happening in that video, but he spun that video to make it look like it was very, very entertaining. And I know he took a little bit away from what's his name off YouTube. What's his name again? Mindseed.
Oh yeah,
he took a little from that, and but I know he's not a fan anymore. So
because I found out it wasn't real, and I was like, oh fuck.
You know who Mindseed is, right, guys?
Yeah.
I've heard the name. I haven't.
Yeah, Mindseed. He's a very popular YouTuber, and it came out that he was faking his videos. But anyways, other than that, I've never seen a guy do a video and make it so entertaining, and it didn't even matter if he caught anything paranormal. It was just an entertaining video, and that's what I love about Lex. He's able to put those videos into something, because let's be honest, like I said earlier, there's times when we go on investigations and we don't catch anything.
100%.
You know, and you're worried if you're going to put this video out, are people going to get bored and not watch it and tune out in the first 2 minutes? Not his video. You guys got to go check it out. It's really good. It's the Red Book series. It's really, really good.
Definitely,
Part 2 is the best one.
Actually, I'll be probably watching this after the show. And you know, it's a unique talent, really. And honest to God, Lex, it is a unique talent to be like that. I mean, I've been in the field 16 years. I've seen a lot of people, you know, even during an investigation, And you can tell those people where nothing's going on and they're just not into it. They're just going through the motions. They're just there, and in my opinion, wasting time. They could just go home and do their own thing. But you find true investigators will have fun with it. Because I don't know. I mean, excuse me. I'm sure you guys know this, but maybe some at home. If you're not getting evidence or any type of experience or stuff like that, sometimes just BSing and having a good time with who you're investigating with might stir something up.
Yeah.
They may feel like they're being ignored and they'll start acting up. But, bravo to you, Lex, honestly. Honestly, because it takes a lot of guts to actually sit there and go, well, shit, there's nothing going on.
It's funny because it actually didn't get as much back. I didn't get as many bad comments on it as I thought it was going to get, because number 2 was quite good. Like, part 1's good.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2's better. And then part 3, because I was personally let down, because I won't spoil the whole video because I want you guys to watch it. So the events of 1 and 2, we were led to believe that something, because we were communicated with really well, especially in number 2, like spot on things. We got an EVP and direct contact using EMF lights, so it was great. So we went in, and I didn't want to do a third part to start with, but I remember saying in that video, I was like, I might have to do a third part and investigate our house, because I was doing this ritual game in my mum's house, and she was very religious, and she wanted us to make sure that I didn't do anything bad and bringing bad stuff into the house. And because of the communication, she got worried. And I was like, well, maybe we'll have to investigate the house. And then I had a weird moment where my mirror, which is a standing tall mirror, but it was stood against a set of drawers because it wasn't on the wall. And if it was going to move, it would either slide onto its back or it would just fall forward or fall side to side. I was getting changed, getting ready to go to bed. My partner sat on the bed talking to me, and the mirror turned to face me. Like, quickly turned. And I was looking at it at the time. So I was like, that was really weird. So I was looking around to see if a cat had come in the room or something. I couldn't find any of the animals in there. Mm-hmm. Couldn't explain it, but I also couldn't disprove it. And because it wasn't on camera, I was like, okay, well, let's investigate the house, because I just don't know if I've caught something here. And it didn't it was a temporal haunting. It didn't last long. It lasted. I think I did the night video. The next part 3 was filmed the next day. So that night I had that happen. And then the other thing was I have a basketball, which is flat based because I haven't used it in 20 years. And it sits on a stand on a wardrobe, and it hasn't moved since I put it there in 12 years. It fell off twice that night.
Oh God! Why do you leave it there? I don't understand why people.
Because it was my first ever basketball game ball for a team when I played for a team in school.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
that makes sense.
That's my game ball, so I kept it.
Yeah.
Cool. So I have one question about the experiences, though. Mm-hmm. Was Chucky present? Was Chucky in the house? Okay.
No, Chucky's relatively new. I bought him last year.
Because that would have been my first culprit. Is all right. Where's Chucky?
I would have thrown him outside. He's in the room behind me, so he's chilling
for now.
Yeah, he's got his own room in the flat. It's great.
Do you lock him up, or is he like in a case or something, or you just let him just kind of chill?
No, he sits on a chair next to the comic books. He just sits there.
You know of. That you know of.
Yeah, well, that I know of. Yeah. The door is closed, so I have no idea.
That's funny. Chucky needs a hair clip.
He does.
I already told him he needs a hair clip.
We could go several different ones now. So let me ask, guys. So then, how did Through the Lens start?
Go ahead, Lex.
Okay, I'll do it. So I'm trying to work out timelines here, because it wasn't a thing me and Bryan thought of to start with. So there was a discussion Bryan was having on Twitter about places that he'd like to investigate, and posted a picture of suicide forest in Japan and was like, bucket list. And then another dude that I know commented on it, or another dude that we knew commented on it, saying, yeah, me too. And I commented underneath it saying, wouldn't it be great if we got a whole team of us there to go and do a massive collab video and do it properly, and, you know, kind of fix the mistakes that Logan Paul made when he went there and rectify it for people that do YouTube videos that we're not all like assholes like that. So I commented that, and then I heard there was a couple of likes. Nothing really came of it. Me and Brian spoke about it, said yeah, it was a cool idea. And then a month later, I got an invite from Brian and this other dude. If you know the company I used to work for, I won't say this guy's name for the reasons that most people would know about. But so they invited me into a chat and was like, "Would you like to join this company we're planning on building?" And I said yes, and that company was, if anyone does know it on YouTube, it was Parachills, which I've stepped away from now. It's been after a lot of complications. If you've kept up with my account, then you'd know. But that's where it kind of came up. We were talking about doing live shows on the Parachills YouTube account. We were trying to think of an idea of something that would work. And me and Brian had this show idea. And I was like, well, we could do this talk show. Not many people are doing it. And if they are doing it, they're not like 17 million subscribers doing it. So there's not massive people doing it in the community. So I was like, well, we'll do it. And we'll have a go. So we did it one show under the pseudonym for Parachills. And we gave it a run, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And it didn't take us too long to plan it. It was a really poor episode on my part because I was using my phone as a camera. I was using a hotspot from my Xbox to get Wi-Fi. I was crashing in and out. I looked like a blur. It was a really badly production on my side. So Brian was like, "You look at these cameras, like get one of these." It was great. And that's where that stemmed from. And then circumstances in the company meant Brian was gone, and we didn't want to lose the show, but because we did it under that company's name, I was kind of worried that we would. And I said to the guy in the company that you didn't come up with the show, me and Brian did, so we're still going to do the show, but instead of it going to your channel, we'll do it on my channel and his channel. And then eventually, that's how it worked. And then routinely, I think we did it for about 8 weeks on alternating channels before we decided to create a channel for the show. And that way it was a bit easier. But that's the origin story of the Through the Lens show, yeah.
That is awesome.
Nice.
That
That
is
was well
awesome.
said. Well said.
Very nice.
Great memory.
Golf claps. Can we get golf claps, please? Golf claps. No, actually, seriously, that is actually a really cool story. I mean, because I've always wondered that ever since I first saw the first show Through the Lens. I was like, okay, I know Brian's in Canada and Lex is in the UK. There's got to be a good story somewhere. And there was.
You know, like when I first met Lex the first time, like I said earlier, I just knew right off the bat this guy was a good guy, and I wanted to do something with him somewhere down the road, whether it was an investigation or something else. And this show idea came up, and when I left the company that Lex was with, I was worried that we were going to lose it. And I called him up. I said, Lex, can we continue doing the show? I don't want to cause any problems with the people that you're with, but I would still like to continue the show. I will let you decide if you want to. And he literally took 2 seconds, and he said, yeah, I want to continue. And we continue doing it. And I agree with what Lex said. There's not a lot of people doing what we're doing, bringing on these people and helping them grow. At the end of the day, we would love to grow as well, the channel, but we're more worried about the people coming on the show and growing. That's why they're coming on the show. And we've had a couple of successes of people coming on the show. And then, you know, I can think of the Patrol. When they came on the show, they had 562 followers. In a week and a half later, after everybody was watching the show, they had 1,000. Well, and that's what we were doing. That's why we did the show. And same thing with Jenny Love. She was at around 650, and she came on the show, and 2 weeks later she was at 1,000. You know, and that's why we do the show. We want to help people grow.
100%, guys, 100%. And you know what? That is 100% the same reason why the Paracast even started. I mean, I started this out just kind of network with, you know, teams and groups in PA, because obviously that's where I'm from. But it's become so much more. I mean, it's just amazing how many friends and honestly people I consider family that have come out in the past year and a half, and your guys' goals is the exact same of mine. And that's what I love about you guys. And it's legit too. It's not like one of those, oh yeah, we'll help you out, but you've got to do this, this, and this, and this. No, it's you're gonna come on, you're gonna get help, you're gonna get promoted, you're gonna get out there, and you're gonna have a good time doing it. And I say bravo, guys. Bravo.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think,
and I will say one more thing. No, me and Lex have never met in person, but I am flying down there hopefully in March, and we're going to do. And I'm going to tell people. I told people the other day we're going to do a couple of shows of Through the Lens while we're together, and it will be the first time we're together. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully one of those shows. Go ahead.
I am actually looking for a studio to rent out for it as well, so we can actually have the cameras all set up around the table. So
I'm definitely going to be watching. Well, then,
I'm hoping one of the shows will be at the Unexplained for the Paracon that we're going to go to in the UK that Karen Fry is putting on.
Could be dope.
Well, I will definitely be sharing that out because I'm a subscriber already. If you guys haven't, hello. Okay, my producers apparently have something to talk about. I don't know which one it was, but one of my producers. I don't even know what the hell that was. I don't even know what's down here.
What is Angelina saying? Brian John Lavity is a catfish Lex. His body is actually a robot.
What I don't understand is why she thinks I don't already know that. You send me those metal cavity photos all the time. You're like, look at my heart, Lex. It's made out of steel.
We made a couple of references from behind the scenes, and yes, we're going tangent, but welcome to my show. From before we started, may I offer a suggestion for a Through the Lens episode? Brian, I know you
I will take that suggestion as long as you don't copy it.
Oh, this one I definitely won't. Lurker might, but I won't.
Hey.
So Lex, you were talking about getting a tattoo. I think you guys should get them together. I think that would make a great Through the Lens. Matching tattoos right across the knuckles.
Unfortunately, I have a bad enough time with this tattoo getting actor work. So me putting a tattoo on my hand probably not be a good idea.
True.
But I'll get it somewhere else.
On your butt.
Ooh.
On my butt.
Maybe on your neck.
Tramp stamp.
Yeah.
We did tramp stamp.
That's fine.
Guys, this was all behind the scenes. This is why we said we should have been recording this.
Yes.
And Angelina, I agree. Lurker is doing a great job lurking. Lurker, your turn, man. You can't co-host. What are you gonna do on your own show? By the way, for those of you who don't know, Lurker and Squeakers came to me and said they want to start their own shows, but they had the nerves. They were, they're nervous, whatever. They doubted themselves. I told them to shut up. I can't actually smack them because they're not close enough. So I said, you know what? You're going to be my co-host. You're going to get experience, whether you like it or not. Let's go. But that's where the co-host thing came in for the Paracast, just getting him comfortable being in front of the camera.
He doesn't want me lurking anymore.
No, I'm pulling you out. So, Lurker, your turn for a question. What have you been wanting to ask these guys?
Okay, sure. I want to ask you guys. Did y'all have any paranormal experiences?
Nope, never caught an experience in my life. I don't even believe in the paranormal. I just thought it was.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Brian, you can go first this time.
When you say a paranormal experience in like when I was young, or what do you mean by that, Lurker?
Paranormal experience like in your young age or throughout your whole life, like paranormal.
Like when I was. Long story short, when I was a kid, I was able to see things that other kids didn't see. So I am actually considered a sensitive. So when I see something like a spirit, it's usually a black mass. and I can't see facial features, but I can tell by feeling that it's a man or a woman. But so when I see something demonic, which I don't use very often because I don't like the word. I think it's overdone and overused. When I see something demonic, um, it's like a translucent black smoke, and it moves very, very slowly around the room. So I've been seeing that ever since I was probably 8 or 9. And it wasn't until I was about 15 years old when I had my very first experience on being touched. And I was sitting in a bedroom with a buddy of mine. His grandmother just passed away probably about 3 weeks before. And I was sitting on the bed. He was sitting across from me. And all of a sudden, I felt like what was a hand on my wrist. And then it felt like there was a shoulder or a head leaning against my shoulder. And it lasted
Oh.
for about 30 seconds. And then it was gone. The thing about it is, during that time that was happening, I looked to my right and there was an actual indent in the bed, like somebody
Oh,
was sitting
wow.
beside me. And after all that was said and done, and even my buddy said I was lying, and he actually saw the indent and couldn't believe it either. But the weird thing about all of it, when she was alive, she used to do that. Like, she used to put her hand on my wrist and my shoulder. So I know a lot of people say when they're touched by a spirit, it's like that cold feeling. This was
Mhm.
actually very warm. It was a very warm feeling. And it was a very loving feeling. And then it was gone. It was almost like she was saying goodbye. Thank you for being there as a good friend. Continue being there. And all of a sudden it was gone. So that was my real first experience being touched. I could see them, but I was never ever touched. And they never ever came close. I could always see them from a distance. And then I guess when I was, and I don't tell this story very much, when I was about 18 or 19 years old, I saw my first demonic entity.
Oh,
And
wow.
there was a famous house that was down the street from me, and it almost looked like a castle. And kids used to go in there all the time and party and stuff like that. But they were always told when they went into the house, they could always hear something like a growl or like something was going on in the house. But people continued going there. I didn't want to go there at all. And so finally, I was convinced to go down there. I went into the room, and right there it was. I saw the demonic entity, and it was floating around the room. And I said, I need to leave. And it was good that I did leave, because later that night, one of my friends was actually severely scratched. And it was so bad, he was bleeding. That's how bad it was. And he was sick. He was actually literally sick for about 3 weeks after that. So it was almost like I don't want to say he was possessed, because I'm on the fence about that kind of stuff, but he was literally vomiting for 3 weeks and lost about, God, 35 pounds.
Jesus
And he was
Christ.
already a skinny guy. And I don't tell that story very much, because in that part of my life, it was bad. But in my lifetime, and this is why I say, like, when you watch these YouTubers that are seeing something demonic every single week, it just doesn't happen that way. I've seen 5 in my lifetime. And yeah, so that's really how it really began for me. And then a couple of years ago, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. So it was about 9 years ago, 10 years ago, when I volunteered. I don't know why I did this, but I volunteered to join a team, and I went into the house, and right there, and this house was an absolute disaster. And what I mean by that, what was going on, it was almost like poltergeist activity.
Oh wow.
And they were having knives and forks and toys, and the kids were getting scratched, and it
Oh
was
my
this
God.
like an absolute horror of a house. It was. So I walked into this house, and I knew as soon as I got up to the steps, I knew what I was going to be encountering. Like, I knew it, I could feel it in my bones. I walked in, and the family room was to the left, and there it was. It was actually going around the room really, really slowly. Like, it actually owned the room. It was possessing the room.
Jesus.
And this is where all the toys were being thrown. At the end of the day, these people tried everything. They brought, and I'm not a big believer on a priest coming into your house and doing what they do.
Mhm.
I'm skeptical on that kind of stuff, but nothing could be done. Nothing. And this was my very first investigation, like 10 years ago, like
Holy
being
crap.
thrown right into the fire. And it was funny. And I laugh about this part. 20 minutes into the investigation, I leaned over to the guy because I wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to leave. And I leaned over to the guy. I said, let me ask you a question. How long do we stay here for? And the guy turned to me, goes, Bryan, what is going on with you? You've been acting so weird, because they had no idea what I could do because I didn't tell them.
Yeah.
And so after everything was said and done, they went back 2 or 3 more times to investigate. They realized what was there, and the family ended up moving anyways. There was nothing that could be done. They had a priest come in, nothing could be done. So they ended up moving. I don't know what ended up happening to the house, but if people think it's a joke, it's not, because these people were living through hell. And if my son was 8, 7, 6 years old, what these kids were, and he was being scratched, you can bet your bottom dollar that I am not staying in that house. I am leaving. I'm moving. They could do whatever they want. Even if I didn't get any money for the house or anything like that, I wouldn't care, because when kids are being scratched and basically tortured, it's no joke. It's no joke. So anyways, that's basically my story.
Yeah. Well, a couple things I want to touch on before Lex, we ask you the same question. First off, that whole feeling of the individual sitting there next to you, feeling that warmth, and you saying that, normally we feel cold spots. The theory I've heard, and I've sadly have tested this through recent losses of my own. What I believe it is because there's a connection, and it's not just with the paranormal. It's an emotional, heartfelt connection. You are used to that person, that person, and you love that person. And typically what I found is when someone passes that we really love, we really admire, a friend, family member, whoever, they will actually come back about usually 2 weeks time, to let us know, I'm okay. The morning process is done, move on with your life. I'm fine. And it's their way of giving us closure and giving themselves closure as well. So because of that feeling, that's why we get that warmth. And I fully believe that. Now, as
100%.
far as kids are involved, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't run a team. No, you guys know. But I'm telling you right now, if I get a message that there's a teen or there's a kid involved or kids involved in anything, I'm there. I don't care if it's residual or not. I'm there, because that takes top priority, and I think we can all agree with that. So
100%. Yes.
Yeah,
but
it was just a really, really. I felt absolutely horrible for this family, and you know what? I've seen so many videos on these guys trying to do whatever they're doing by getting rid of these negative entities or these demonic entities, and they're making a joke out of it and stuff like that. I really get really upset when I see that stuff, because it's nothing to joke about. And like you said, Matt, when kids are involved, we tried everything to help this family out, and there's absolutely nothing we can do. And it's just a terrible thing. It really is. And I just get sick. And like I said, I just get sick when I see these videos and these people saying, oh, we came along a demonic entity, and they start laughing and they start joking around, and they try to provoke it and all these things. And it's I don't know. It's just, well, first of all, I turn off the video right away. I don't even watch the rest of it. And it's just disgusting. But anyways.
Yeah. And, just like you, I've ran into 4 myself in my 16 years, and it's nothing to joke about. I mean, even a malicious spirit is enough to, get you really, I don't want to say second guessing, but put you on the defensive. And those are just a whole nother level because they're dangerous. That's the only way to describe it. And I have no respect for anybody who thinks that they're a joke because
Well, I think
they're
Lex
not.
can agree with me because Lex watches a lot of videos, and I know we've talked about this many times in the past about demonic and people just making a joke of it. It's not a joke.
No.
No, I would say to take all those people that make those videos and put them somewhere with an actual demonic thing, and see if they find it funny then.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. Oh, go ahead.
That's a good point, Lex. That's a really, really good point. Never thought about it that way.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Lurker, what's up?
I'd pay to watch that. put one of those people in a real demonic place and let's watch them deal with it.
I got a list, but go ahead, Lurker. Go ahead, Lurker.
No,
What were you
but
gonna
as
ask?
I was saying, that's the whole reason why we are paranormal investigators. We're here to seek the truth. We're here to gather evidence and collect data, and once we confirm that there is actually something going on that is paranormal, then we find somebody to, remedy the situation. Yes, it's nice that we get recognized for what we do a little bit. Sure, it's nice to get noticed, but the whole point of this is to serve the community and help the community out, and to provide the truth and to show that there is something paranormal there, that there is something out there. I mean, it may not be enough to get everyone to believe it, but we can at least get them to think, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, to be
100%.
fair, I've said this before. Like, if God was to jump out of his heaven, land on earth, and all the spirits in the world revealed themselves to everybody, people would still not believe in it.
Yeah, it'd be
Because they
CGI.
can't. They
CGI.
just can't comprehend. They just can't comprehend the idea, so
No.
they don't want to. And I'll touch on it a bit more when I tell you my experiences, because I was a non-believer for 17 years.
Well,
So-
actually, you're up, so you might as well continue.
Yes.
Keep going.
I love
Great
this story.
segue.
I love this story from Lex. I do.
So I've got two. One of them, I'll tell you the one that Brian already knows, because this is a definite experience I had. The other one would have happened when I was about 11, but I don't know if I'm remembering it properly. Which is why I didn't. When I did the video, I think I mentioned it. I've done my this explanation in a video, but I've mentioned this little bit here, and I said that I think there's this one, but because I don't 100% believe my own memory of it, I won't say what it is on a video explaining my first experience. But I'll mention it here anyway, just in case. But I'll start with the big one, the one that is a confirmed experience for me. So my best friends, they were urban photography people, so they would go into abandoned buildings, take loads of photos of it, and make art out of it and stuff like that. And I think, I was 17 years old, so I'm chilling at home. My mate messages me, he's like, "Yo, we're going to an abandoned asylum near a theme park. Would you want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? I've never been to an abandoned building before. It'd be quite cool." So I tag along, and as we're going through this building, it's called West Park Asylum. It was getting taken down, and they've built like a new facility now, but where it is, there's Chessington Theme Park at the bottom of a hill. The insane asylum is on top of the hill, so you can see them from it. It was really weird, like being that close. I'm pretty sure, I think it was Chessington. So we went there, and we go through. We know there's about 15 members of builders, construction, and security on the other end of the compound. So we went through this back way. And we were like, we can only go through these back buildings because if we go that way, we're going to get caught. So it's all gravy. Life is good. The only thing I thought I'd be afraid of was security. So I'm loving life. So we're walking. So we're walking through this building, and the first thing that happens to us, which was a weird thing, was we heard three out of the five of us, I think it was, heard a piano. Played at least 3 keys, and we asked each other, like, you guys have been here before. Is there a piano in here? And they're like, well, we think so, but we think it's in the children's bit. And I was like, okay, we'll go and find it. So we found the piano, and it was smashed to pieces. Like, you couldn't make any keys work, and it was the only one we could find. So, but while we're doing that, I was like, well, maybe there's another one, and it's in the bit which we're not going to because security is there. So maybe there's another one. So we chalked it up to that. And again, they're off doing their thing, taking photos. I'm just messing around, looking at all this old stuff that's all over the floor. And we go further into the kids' ward, and I get like almost gut punched with this emotional sadness, and almost like I was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to one of my mates, I was like, I need to leave the room. I just don't feel very well. And I couldn't explain why I didn't feel well. They're like, do you feel sick? And I was like, no, I feel really sad here, and I don't want to be here. And me at that age, I just chalked up to, I know there were kids here, and I know it's a mental hospital. So I was like, well, maybe I'm just really emotional about the fact that it's kids affected by mental problems. So again, just chalked it off the board, no problems. The mistake I made is the next bit. So we're going through the filing cabinets, and I find an envelope with a letter still in it, dated from the 1870 or something like that, off memory. And I open the letter and I read the letter. And the letter is basically, it's from the hospital to a family of one of the patients who have died. And obviously it never got sent out. So I was reading it, but then I realized my friends were leaving. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go catch up with them. But I forgot that I had the letter with me, and I didn't want to take it out of the building. So I was like, I'll put it back. So I went back, put it back in the envelope, and put it exactly where I left it, where I found it. And there was like a Scrabble piece on the floor with the letter A on it. And because my name is Alex, I was like, I'm going to take the Scrabble piece as a souvenir. So I took the Scrabble piece, and I started walking back to my friends. And as we're leaving, they're about 10 to 15 feet ahead of me. And it's a high-rise wall, and it's glass windows all the way across. So I'm walking through, and I could hear someone tapping on windows. But it was like nails or claws tapping a window. So in my head, I'm like, don't turn around, because it's probably the security guys. And if I see them, I'm fucked. So just don't react to it. So I keep going, barreling forward, and it gets closer and closer, but it's also getting very, very, like a lot more aggressively banging to the point where it sounds like it's on the inside of the building now, because it's echoing on the inside.
Oh, wow.
But the windows are too high up for me to reach them on the inside. So you can get to them from this outside, like, walkway.
Yeah.
So I was like, can't be anything. I was like, don't turn around, don't turn around. At this point, I'm just getting scared. And I was like, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. And then there was this massive bang behind me. And I can't tell if it was against the window or the wall, but it sounded like it was about 3 feet behind me. And I went, if that's a security guard, I'm going to have to I need to know how far away he is. So I looked round, and I was looking the other way for about 5 seconds. In that 5 seconds, there was a black mist formed inside, 5 feet away from me, and I could see right in the standing about 6'5" up, red and yellow eyes staring at me through the mist. But I could see all the way through the mist. I couldn't see a figure, but I could see its eyes very distinctively. And I've never ran away from something so fast in my life. So 5 seconds, I saw that, I screamed, and I ran out of this building. I ran past my friends, ran all the way down the hill, sat there, and I didn't tell anybody for, I think it was 5 years, I didn't tell them what I saw.
Holy cow.
Well, if there was a better dude run moment, and for those of you who know where that's from, bravo. But definitely was a dude run moment.
Yeah. And I still have no answers for it. I've actually spoken to people who study demonology. I've spoken to the church, and I've looked it up myself to find something to explain what I saw. And I found a few bits and pieces here and there that it could be that, could be. But because they tore the building down, I'm never going to be able to go back and find out. So, and I kind of don't want to, because it was bloody terrifying. And that was the first, that straight away, that from that day onwards, I was a heavy believer in it.
Yeah, I think that would definitely push people over the edge a little bit.
But it did everything but slap me in the face. So
No.
But yeah, that was
evidence.
so that was the one that got me interested in it. That got me a heavy believer in it. And then from then, because I'm 29 now, I started making YouTube videos on this when I was 27. Okay. So I waited 10 years before I started investigating. But that 10 years wasn't me ignoring it. For 10 years, I watched every paranormal YouTube channel I could get my hands on. I watched every horror movie, every documentary, every old building historical program I could find to explain it to myself, because I come from not a religious household, but my mum's religious.
Mhm.
And so she's got this concept of what the afterlife is for her, and that was what I was told. I dropped my faith when I was 17 as well, so that was a weird moment, because 2 months prior to that I dropped all my religious beliefs, because I lost a friend of mine who I didn't think deserved to go. So to me, I took it out on God, and I was like, I don't believe in you anymore. And it was weird. So that happened, dropped my faith, saw that, and then for 10 years, my whole belief system was completely changed. So I spent 10 years researching it and finding out what I should be doing in videos, what I shouldn't be doing in videos, who to trust, who not to trust, finding accounts that I should be following and who not to follow. And then when I did it, I was like, I've got enough. I think I've done enough. Let's start investigating. So that was the one that got me into it, like to where I am now. The one I don't know if is so I know this event happened. I just don't know if I'm misinterpreting some detail. So I'm hopefully I'm not. But it was my dad's wedding to my stepmother, and we were in Scotland for the wedding. And I'm really young. I can't remember how old I was for this, but we were in this hotel. It's an old hotel, and it was one of the nights. So me and my brother are staying in the same room, and a door across from us, I think it's my auntie, is staying in that one, which is so that's that. So I mean, just me and my brother in here, and because it was late in the evening, me and my brother are like, yeah, we get to stay up late tonight because there's no adults in the room. We're going to watch some bad TV, and that was what it was. I stayed up all night to watch like TV shows with swearing in it because I couldn't watch that in my house. So we're gonna watch it in the hotel. But so the first weird thing happened. My brother went to the shower, and he was very particular that he had all his labels facing him in the shower.
Okay.
So no matter which way he turned, the bottles were at weird angles just to make sure he could see every front label. He doesn't do it anymore, but he did then. It was weird. I don't know when he started doing it or why he stopped, but he did that. And he comes out of the bathroom, and I'm sat on the bed, and he's like, "Did you use the bathroom yet?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Because the bottles have turned around." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I turned them all to face me, and those three are now facing the wrong way." And I was like, "Well, maybe you just missed them." Like, I didn't, obviously, at this point, definitely didn't believe in it. So I was like, "You just missed them, obviously." Go back to watching TV. He gets scared of being in the room, so he goes and stays in my aunt's room. So I'm now in this room by myself, and I'm a kid. I'm not even 13 yet. So like, I'm a kid. I think I'm younger than 10, actually. I think I'm younger than 10. So I'm in this hotel room. I'm chilling. It gets really, really late. And because I'm a kid, no adults, I'm staying up. I'm determined to be up all night. So I'm like, I ain't going to sleep. So it gets to about, I think maybe like 1:30 in the morning, and I can hear someone running up the corridor. And I'm just ignoring it. I'm like, oh, it's probably one of some other kids in here. And it was running, and it was going backwards and forwards. And then eventually there was like a bang on my door. So I jump out of bed, grab the door, open it, look out. There's no one in the corridor. And I was like, oh, it's probably my brother's leant out, and he's banged the door and hidden in the aunt's room again. So I shut the door. And this happens 3 times in 10 minutes. So one bang on the door, I open it, nothing there. So I got the idea to stand by the door and wait for the bang. And then I can just swing it open straight away. So again, I can hear the running. I can hear laughing outside. Bang on the door. And as soon as the bang hits, I pull the door open. And there's nothing there. So I walk out into the corridor. And now I'm just confused. I'm a young kid. I'm confused. I look down one end of the hall. And there's nothing. There's just a window and some plants. I look the other way. And it's it's like a shining corridor. It's horrible. It's a long corridor with a chair at the other end. There's a random, like, 2 chairs opposite each other at the top. And there was a girl sat on one of the chairs. And I'm looking over, and it's like, at this point, it's like 1:30. And I'm like waving. I'm like, "You're right." And this is where the bit gets a bit hazy for me on terms of detail. Because up to this point, I remember this exactly. It's this bit where I don't know if I'm getting this right. So I'm waving at her, and she gets off the chair and looks at me. And the girl that I'm looking at is about around the same age as me, 8 to 11, somewhere in that ballpark, wearing a white and blue dress that you'd wear to a wedding as a kid, especially in this were like early 2000s. So like the style. So wear that, and she starts walking towards me, and then starts running towards me. And as I start to move backwards, she goes through the floor and disappears.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Holy
And-
crap.
And I think the reason I'm hazy on it is because I'm so young, I don't know what I'm seeing. But I've always told this story to people in that way. So I'm so sure I'm getting it correct. But to me, it feels like I'm getting it wrong. But it's really weird. But I don't know what I'm getting wrong, because up to the door, I know that perfectly. But afterwards, like the description of the girl, I don't know if that's wrong. I don't know if she actually ran at me. But my memory is telling me she did run at me, and she went through the floor.
Hey, go with your instincts.
Yeah.
You know, I think what the big question that a lot of the audience is probably wondering is, did you stay in the room by yourself for the rest of the night, or did you go somewhere else?
No, I stayed in the room.
Oh.
I just didn't go to bed. I stayed in the room. The banging on the wall, the banging from the door happened 2 more times. Then there was tapping on my wall, but I was just under my duvet the whole time.
I don't blame you.
He stayed up late watching late night cartoons.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was the great Graham Norton show. I think it was on at the time. It was a fucking weird show to put on in the evening, but
So before we continue the rest of the show, guys, you've survived an hour of the Paracast. Congratulations.
1 down, 7 more to go.
You're right. So before we continue, I want to take a moment just to, again, thank you guys for coming on. And I do have some more questions, but to kind of jump into this, I want to play the P3 video. We have a new video. We added brand new people to this video. We still have more to add. There's somebody who just joined the program today, literally 10 minutes before the show started. So I want to play this. You guys have a little bit of a break, but check this out. And if you want to know for more information about it, shoot me a message. So here we go. I still want to know if that's a sound of a cat being strangled. I really
Definitely.
do. I want to investigate that. But no, I want to say thank you, Marcus from Minnesota Spirit Hunters, again for that video. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you. So, guys, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I want to touch on it because everybody seems to have their own opinions about this topic, and that's faking evidence. I know there's some who are like, let's, light them on fire, burn them at the stake, and there's some who are like, I don't really care. So what's your guys' thoughts?
Go ahead, Lex.
Okay. No, fuck it. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I would like everyone who is exposing them to keep doing it because it's great. Everyone who hates on the debunking channels, grow up. Like they're telling you how it's done because some people believe it and they go to these places and they get nothing and it upsets them. And this is what I hate people who fake videos. The excuse that YouTube is an entertainment platform is not an excuse because there's also that I've had this discussion before. They're like, yeah, but YouTube's for entertainment and videos. I went, so why is there documentaries on YouTube then? Why is there science lectures on YouTube then? Because it's not entertaining, it's learning, it's educational. And that's what paranormal research is. It's educational and it's research. It's a scientific experiment on a grand scale. And they ruin it for everyone. They make all the evidence that Brian's collected, I've collected, you've collected, everyone in the chat's collected. They make everyone's evidence. They make everyone's experience mean nothing. Because if people watch some of these channels, come onto this stream tonight, and they listen to our origin stories, how many of them don't believe it?
Very true.
Yeah, they've ruined the name of the movies. Did it too. Movies ruined the paranormal field a little bit, but at least movies brought more people into the field. People wanted to know if this movie was true, and they became investigators. They do it properly. I was heavily inspired by movies to help me believe in this stuff. I was like, well, that's really cool, maybe, but it's over the top because but I know it's a movie. It has to be over the top. But let me look into that case because it's available online, and I would work out for myself. I became an investigator. But you can't do that with some of these videos. It's stupid, man. I absolutely hate it, and I don't know how people still watch them. I don't know how one channel who's done like 200 Randonautica videos that are all the same bloody video of him putting something there first and then going back there and finding it. And he makes it a series of 19 videos. great. And they're not even and you know what, worst comes to worst, they're not even entertaining videos. Half of them are shite. I get bored watching the intros. I'm like, I'm not watching this crap. There are some that are entertaining, yes. There is someone who's very big in the paranormal community who I don't not like as a person. I think as a dude, he's probably really cool. He seems really cool. But he fakes paranormal videos. So I think he's Am I allowed to swear on this show, by the way?
I don't care.
You already have several times.
Okay. Am I allowed to swear as bad as I'm about to?
Okay, go ahead.
It's my show. So.
Yeah.
Hey, now you're stealing my line.
Okay. If it's yes, he's a nice person and his videos can be entertaining, but you fake the paranormal and you don't admit it. You take money from people who believe it's real. You created an app to make people believe it's real. You're a cunt. And that is how I think of you and everyone who fakes the paranormal. If you fake it and you put a little thing in your description, I don't not like you. I think that's a bold move. I like you for it. I'll watch your video. But if you don't do that, I think you're an obnoxious, money-grabbing cunt and you're stealing from everyone who watches your video. Thank you.
What do you say? How can I follow up that?
Say something nice because people are going to get mad at me for it.
No. I won't do that. I will say this. On Through the Lens, we did an episode on fakers and betrayal, or betrayal and fakers. It's
betrayal
one of those
and fakers, yeah.
Yeah, and that is one of our most viewed video. Because there's a lot of people out there that are tired of it. They're tired of seeing it. These people, like Lex said, they're making money off people for faking videos, and I think it's wrong. And I don't know why people continually support them. And Lex didn't say any names. We all know who the names are, and I have no problem saying the names. But at the end of the day, what's that? Yeah, like
me neither.
Lex,
I did a video on it.
yeah, Lex did a video on Twitter because we mentioned this guy's name on the show. He watched the show. We said his name. We actually even showed his picture on the show. And the next day, this guy is so bloody arrogant that I knew exactly what he was doing. He did this video with talking about us and ignoring the haters and all that stuff. But what I caught in that video, nobody else did. He was wearing a Toronto Raptors hat while he was doing that video. And I knew exactly what he was doing. And Lex, I think it was a day later or 2 days later, Lex put out a video on Twitter, and it got a crap load of views. And I handed to Lex, he got some hate for it. He got some real hate for it. And there was one girl that really kind of laid into him, and she's a mod for his channel. And she's a mod for all these fakers. And I have no problem saying who it was. Can I say his name?
I'll do it. It's Jody Dean. He's a cunt.
Probably doesn't watch my show, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah. And,
don't worry, it'll get around to him because he's found
and,
the other times
we'll get around to him. And he's and one of the reasons why we did the video on him, and I'll say why we did it, because he did something absolutely nasty that me and Lex we talked about on the show. Remember that girl that passed away? Her husband, what was her name again? Sorry, I can't recall her name.
Oh, off the top of my head, I can't remember it.
And
away,
the husband killed her and his 2 kids.
It was on. They made a Netflix documentary about it
on Netflix. Well, he actually went to the graveyard where she's buried and sat on her graveyard and was leaning up against her gravestone.
Against his back, feet out, like in the place. And that's why I made the video. That's why all we spoke about in the video was we called that out, and I told him to either apologize or take the video down.
Total disrespect.
And instead, he made a shit video saying the way he made this video on Twitter was so funny. He was like, "I hear things that people say about me. Yeah, some stuff recently rolled across my desk. Fuck off, dude. Like." You're a prick. And you didn't address what I said. I told you in the video that I think you're a dickhead, not because you fake videos. That wasn't the process of this thing. Because you sat on someone's grave to make profit off of a tragedy for a family. And me and Bryan know someone who knows the family. And that family, the mother of that family, is very upset with what YouTubers were doing around it. Because it was fucking huge.
The girl that died, the girl that was it Casey something or I can't recall
Shanann.
her name.
Her name was
Shanann, yes.
Yeah.
And we have a close friend that knows the family, and his aunt worked with her mother as their hairstylist. And the disrespect that this guy did was unbelievable, and we called him out. And I'm sorry, you cannot defend that.
No,
you can't defend it.
No.
I mean, that girl tried to defend it, and she messaged, like she wasn't messaging me on Twitter, she was tweeting me, saying stuff like, "Oh, you're just jealous of the money." I was like, I would give up my YouTube account tomorrow if it meant he took the video down. I don't care about YouTube that much that I'm gonna let him get away. Like, I've said it because he sat on someone's. I was like publicly on here, you look like an idiot. Defend to me why he sat on someone's grave and made money because of it. If you can justify that to me, I'll apologize for the video. And then, lo and behold.
Here's the thing, and I don't care if you've been in the field 40 years or 40 seconds. My thing is, like, I know some people don't like cemeteries and investigating them, but here's the thing. When you go there, even though the bodies or the spirit, may not be there, have some damn respect. Especially, like, I'm a vet. If I see there's a flag laying down, I'm picking that up. I have always told everybody, you go into a cemetery, you leave it better than what we came into it. Pick up trash, anything. Make it better, because those people demand respect. I don't care who they are. I don't care where they're from. Show your respects.
Yeah, and you know what? We got a lot of flack for doing that, and which was fine. We were okay with that, but people were trying to justify it, and
No.
that's what really bothered me.
No.
Oh well, why do you go to a hospital and look for people that are dead? It's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing.
No.
It's definitely not the same thing. I'm not going to the cemetery and sitting on somebody's grave like I own the place and trying to get them to come through a spirit box. I'm sorry. You just don't do that. You have to have some, like, I go into a place and I respect it. Like some
Yep.
kids go in there and vandalize it and do graffiti and stuff like that. That's horrible. But this guy was so disrespectful. And you know what? And I will shout out and I want to shout out somebody right now, because she had a video up too, and Lex mentioned that through the that live that day, and that was Jenny Love Paranormal.
Okay.
She had a video up of she was doing the same thing, but she wasn't sitting on the grave or anything like that. But she took that video down because she realized that video shouldn't have been up, and she took it down. So kudos to her on what she did. She's an amazing person. She's super, super nice. But what this guy did was absolutely a dick move.
It's still up
And
as
like
well, by the
Lex
way.
said, he made money off of it.
Damn, dude.
That's just
Come on.
straight up disrespectful and unforgivable in my mind. And
But
no, go ahead, Lex. Go ahead.
yeah, I put his actions that day in the same box as every YouTuber who makes a paranormal video on a dead celebrity. Delete your channels. YouTube should be deleting the channels for that content. It's ridiculously disrespectful.
They don't.
Yeah.
They do it on the day someone dies, and they do it.
Yeah, I saw something. I saw something last week. The guy that with the portal, I forget his name. He had the portal, and he was supposedly talking with the couple.
Paranormal.
He was talking to the couple that died. What the boyfriend and the girlfriend, or the guy that killed his girlfriend, and he was saying he was getting them come through the portal. Like, seriously, come on.
I've already heard, the Bob Saget's and the Betty Whites and other things. It's like, no. See, here's the thing. I agree with you, Lex and Brian, that faking evidence is BS. You shouldn't. No. But I will counter that with, if you put in the video, whether it's before, during, after, whatever, if you put a disclaimer up saying that it is for entertainment purposes only, that's fine. I have no problems with that. If someone wants to go out and make a Blair Witch Project video, have fun. Knock yourself out. Make it entertaining. Just make sure you let everybody know that it is fake. If you come out and say that, I will have the utmost respect for you. But I do not tolerate and I do not respect anybody that comes out and fakes evidence and sit there and say it's actual evidence, because you are full of shit, number one. And number two, I've said this numerous times on my channel. You are hurting more than what you think you are. You may, especially in homes. That's my hot button.
Yeah.
Because
sorry for cutting you off,
no.
Matt. The whole reason we did the show, one, is because we were tired of seeing it, and second, I was going out with somebody that was doing videos as well. We were doing them together, and we did a video together, and this video was going to be going up on Paraflex, and then my editor caught something in the video that I was absolutely disgusted. I was angry. I was mad. Like every emotion you can feel, I was feeling. We were standing in a certain part of this building, and we thought we had a rock thrown at us. And I thought, amazing evidence. But then my editor went through it and found out the person I was with actually threw the rock and made it seem like it was thrown at us. So this is where all this started, the betrayal and fakers. So that's where it all started, by the person that I was going out. And finally, after months of denying it, she finally brought out a video on YouTube admitting it, that she did it. And
A subpar video, because she also told everyone it was a mental illness and that she suffered from Tourette's, and that's what made her do it. But she never mentions that in the apology video. So she lied about having an illness as well, which she still needs to apologize for.
Well,
That's
you
so much
see,
thing you could do.
I don't forget, mate. Like, when people do dumb shit, I will remember that until you correct it.
yeah, because she put out a tweet even before all of this came out, that we did the video. I was talking about it, and she was talking about how she has Tourette's. And she just happened to say that she has Tourette's. Well, I knew what she was doing. She was working up to it, because if I eventually came out with it, she would have said, "Oh, well, remember I said a few months ago I had Tourette's?" I'm not stupid. I know exactly what you're doing.
Mhm.
But so basically, Tourette's made you pick up a rock and throw it? Like, come on.
In
Well-
a paranormal video, when you don't ever throw stones normally, but in this one you thought to. And then, the apology video, she went, I really wanted more evidence, so I thought I'd create some. I was like, okay, that's a good start. Now mention the bit where you insulted everyone who suffers with Tourette's because you claim to have it. Didn't apologize for. She also didn't tell Bryan about this video because he doesn't have her on any social medias anymore. I got it because it came up as I was still subscribed, so it came up on mine, and I watched it, and I was like, I wonder if this is going to be about the incident, because it was just called like I'm apologizing now or something like that. So I watched it, and then I was like, Bryan, I know you don't want to watch her video, but you have to watch it because I'm 99% sure she's on about your video, unless she's thrown rocks in loads of other people's videos. In which case,
Maybe it's
it's
starting a
even
trend.
worse. But yeah, but that
Maybe-
really kicks it off. That really
And
kicks it off.
it's funny because of the fact that in that one video, every other video she's a paranormal investigator, but that one video she's now an entertainer.
Oh,
Like,
man.
come on.
Oops.
It's
But
just, you know
the
what?
fun
And that's
thing
the
is-
reason why we did the show. And,
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that question, Matt, because me and Lex have a huge problem with fakers. We do this because we love it and we have a passion for it. And any evidence that I put up on YouTube and Paraflix is what I've captured.
Yeah.
And I would never, ever stoop to the level. My integrity means way too much to me to do anything like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not after the bottom dollar for these videos. And, I do it because I love it. And, that's it. And that's why we did the show. And like I said earlier, it's been the most viewed show.
It was a lot of
out
fun
of all
though.
our shows.
There was that one dude in the
Yeah.
comment section who was like banging on at us. Oh, I know her. She wouldn't have done this. Well, you look like an idiot now because she admitted it. like 15 comments. He kept messaging Bryan on all these platforms, insulting him, saying that we were lying. And we even put the video on our show. That's how good we are, by the way, guys. If you watch the episode, because it's still up, unless you're in Canada, the episode is not up in Canada.
Yeah, I
But it's
got
up everywhere else.
banned in Canada.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
You
I got
know,
banned in
If,
Canada.
if you're American, you can still watch it.
Oh, I planned on that. But it's funny because I was talking to a couple people who are in this P3 program about making waves, and I've even said it on my show when I'm in my mobile office. People, when we start making waves, I think that is a bigger impact than anything, because obviously we're doing something enough to upset people. And that to me means we're doing the right things, because it's almost like you're stepping on people's toes. And if they're taking offense to it, then that's the people that need to turn around and look in the mirror. But anyway, I actually have a family engagement. I just found out about 10 minutes ago. But definitely, guys, I want to bring you back for a part 2, and if you guys are up for it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nah, fuck it. Can't be bothered. Of course I can.
Cool.
Of course I would.
You know what?
Okay, you guys heard it. It's
I will-
all on record.
It's funny. I love anytime I get on a live with Lex, and especially through the lens, and and obviously we love doing what we're doing. I just enjoy every minute spending time with Lex, and even now you, Matt, and Lurker and stuff like that. And I'm so looking forward to spending a couple of weeks in the UK investigating with Lex. So it's going to be a great time.
Well, I will tell you guys this. Like I said it from the beginning, and I'll say it till the day I died. Every pun intended. I support 100% what you guys are doing. Your show is amazing. You guys are awesome. You guys, bring a new spin and a new perspective into what we do, and I love it. I love it, and you guys will have my support. And I can honestly say, from the rest
You
of the
got mine.
P3, yeah,
Thank you.
stealing my shit. Stop it. But seriously, from everybody in the P3 program, we have your back too. You guys will always have support with us. And I'm sure there's plenty in the audience. And if you guys haven't already, seriously go check them out on YouTube, Through the Lens with Bryan and Lex. And yes, got the whole thing. And you won't regret it. You won't regret it. And it's every Sunday, right, guys?
Every
Yes.
Sunday.
Every Sunday.
4 p.m. Eastern time, which will be 9 p.m. UK time.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I heard a rumor that maybe a fedora may be showing up on Through the Lens. Was that a rumor I heard, or was that
A fedora.
the Spirit Cast? Yeah, you definitely haven't watched my show. Maybe,
We never know. Maybe somewhere down the road for sure.
but either way,
But I
guys,
will say, I will, if I can say this, Jesse will be on this week from D's
Okay.
Coast. He'll be on.
So
Sunday.
definitely go check them out. Definitely go check it out and subscribe, because honestly, guys, they deserve it. They deserve every bit and more. So, guys, please hang out backstage for probably more chaos. But I want to say here live, thank you so much for everything you guys are doing and continue to doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having us on.
Thank you, everyone that was watching. Thank you for all the comments and stuff.
Where'd you skate off to? Couldn't take the pressure. I know. So anyway, Lurker, I'll see. So thank you so much for filling in tonight for Squeakers. I know she really appreciates it. Friday, we've got Nadine from Sundown Paranormal, another UKer. I am excited, man. I am
Me too.
excited. I am excited. Actually, wait a minute. That makes Lex the first international guest.
Right?
Oh, look at that. We're growing. I'm so sorry, the rest of the world.
We're making waves.
Right? All right, Lurker, I will catch up with you later, brother. Thank you again so much. Great job tonight, man.
Thank you. Prayers that go out to Squeakers, and I hope she gets better soon.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Ooh, that's too close. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go for right now. What a great show. I, again, want to thank each and every one of you guys for your continued support. Every day, every video, everything I do, and that we do, the content support. I love it, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And it's not just about supporting me. It's about supporting our community as well. So let's keep it going. Give Bryan and Lex some love over there on Through the Lens. And really everybody. If you see somebody new, go to their Facebook profile, their YouTube profile, hit the like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Because it's only going to get better. And again, if you guys want more information on the P3 program, all you got to do is shoot me a message. But we'll see you on Friday for Sundown Paranormal with Nadine. Lurk is going to be back hosting his regular show. So you guys have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. And as always, guys, happy hauntings.